Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? So I'm not sure what's going on with my YouTube channel again. There seems to be some kind of delay in releasing my videos. So whenever it's monetized, sometimes they send you to this monetizing system that checks your videos, and for whatever reason, it could delay it. And so people are like, what? How come you're just now releasing a video from yesterday? Well, because it just released. That's why. And I'm not sure what... It does that from time to time, but I'm not sure what causes it. Anyways, hopefully this will get out on time. So something very interesting came out in the Iraqi news that has caught my attention. That's pertaining to the exchange rate. So let's get into this, shall we? All right. Iraq is ranked 4th in the list of the most dynamic countries with foreign investment. Iraq ranked 4th amongst 10 countries with the growth of foreign investment momentum until 2024, with a growth rate in expenses of more than 370% from 2021 until the end of 2023, according to a report by the FDI website, which is Foreign Direct Investment. On foreign investment in the world, many economies enjoyed strong investment momentum until 2024. Why it says until 2024? Because 2024 hasn't happened yet, so obviously it's not part of this equation. She pointed out that the Asian continent was particularly good, with 6 out of the 10 countries were Asian countries. And here is the ranking. The degree of the momentum index of foreign direct investment in Iraq came at 86 points out of 100, while the growth of GDP 2024 is 2.9%. Inflation will be at 3.6%. The growth of capital expenditures for foreign direct investments between 2021 and 2023 amounted to more than 370%. And the growth in foreign direct investment projects between 2021 and 2023 amounted to about 95%. This is really good. This means that countries are feeling comfortable enough to come into Iraq and invest in the country. And that can only happen if they believe that this country is stable, a stable government, stable economy. They're not worried about uprisings. They're not worried about terrorist attacks. That's the only way this can be successful for Iraq. And they seem to be doing all the things necessary to make foreigners feel comfortable about investing in their country. This is really good for Iraq. Now here we go. This is definitely interesting. Parliament is awaiting the 2024 budget schedules, preparing for major changes in numbers. The Parliamentary Finance Committee confirmed today, Friday, that the 2024 budget schedules have not reached Parliament, but the total revenues and expenditures must be reconsidered. Remember, I told you, if they're going to make any kind of change to the exchange rate, it would happen at the end of the year or before the beginning of this next year for 2024. And the reason for that is businesses in Iraq have to prepare their budgets for business based on what it is that the government in Iraq does. That means if the government decides to change the exchange rate for the Iraqi Dinar, then businesses must take that in consideration whenever they're calculating out their possible revenues and expenditures for the year as well. So the fact that they're saying they need to reconsider the total revenues and expenditures for the year makes me wonder what it is they have up their sleeve. Now, there's no guarantee that's what's going to happen, but if they are going to make a change to the exchange rate, this would be the time to do it. No, it's not going to be reinstated to the 322 rate. This is something that's going to be done in increments. There's either going to be an adjustment up or down. We don't know yet. So don't get overly excited. I would imagine they have to recalculate their figures for oils per barrel. In my opinion, they got it up too high. So this is definitely something we'll keep an eye on. Let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to make to the budget and any changes that they make to the exchange rate, if they do at all. Committee members Al-Karari said the Prime Minister has not sent any letter regarding the 2024 budget yet. But in general, it is assumed that the issue of revenues and the total expenditures and a percentage of the deficit achieved in the new budget will be reconsidered based on expectations of oil prices and quantities exported according to the OPEC decision, indicating that if changes occur to those three numbers, there will be a major change to the rest of the budget schedules, according to the Iraqi news. So yes, they better take in consideration the amount they have put aside for the price per barrel. Then obviously that's going to change your expectation for revenues and expenditures. This is the time to do it. If you're going to do it now before the year starts. Heck, they got 3 days before this year is over. So obviously any changes are going to be done within the first quarter of 2024. So the volume of expenditures distributed across the spending lines and according to the available amounts and expected revenues, there will be a redistribution of the budget schedules. And as a result, there will be major change in the schedules, noting that what the political forces aspire to are the budget items, especially in the Kurdistan region, with regard to actual expenses and others. He stressed that the committee is determined that there be social justice between the governance and that everyone is obligated to pay the actual expenses, noting that these points are the sum of the differences that we will witness in the budget during the coming period. He added, "We hope to send its data for the 2024 budget after the legislative recess so it could be amended quickly. There is no increase in fuel prices. Rather, it is regulating the process of processing fuel by converting it into electronic form and using payment cards, but there is not yet any official decision regarding fuel prices." So we will see how this works out. You guys, if they're going to make any major changes to the budget, this is the time they're going to do it. If they're going to make any changes to the exchange rate, they got to do it now. If businesses are going to calculate their budgets for the year, it's based on what the government does with their budget, especially if the exchange rate is involved. Associations of private banks' exchange rate in the parallel market will continue to decline, which is a good thing. The Association of Private Banks praised on Friday the monetary strategy of the government and the central bank and stressed that these measures taken recently, including the opening of foreign Iraqi accounts in the currencies of the euro, the Turkish lira, UAE dirham, will contribute to the continued decline of the exchange rate in the parallel market. The association's advisor said in a statement to official media that the objectives and tasks of the central bank focus on financial and banking reform, and they are in accordance with the government curriculum, especially with regards to the transitions from the monetary economy to the digital economy through the development of electronic payment devices in trends that achieve the fourth global revolution by moving to a society of cashless. Yeah, that's what you don't want to hear. We do not want to be a cashless society. Given any government, considering how corrupt ours is over here in the United States, but given any corrupt government, that kind of control over the people is a no-no. Nobody should support that. He added that the Central Bank of Iraq and the government have taken a new strategy to manage monetary policy due to the fluctuation that occurred in the exchange rate of the Iraqi Dinar at the end of 2022. So there were new goals to control the exchange rate and ensure its stability. Was also amongst the objectives of regulating foreign trade, financing, and regulatory of the Iraqi bank sector in accordance with the standards of the global financial system followed in most developed countries of the world in the banking aspect, and completely ending the battle with speculators who play a harmful role for the national economy by dealing in dollars in the black market, which is held accountable in accordance with the law. While those speculators include us, we are speculators. He pointed out that the reconsideration of lending policies according to a new strategy called the National Lending Strategy, in which the operational aspects of bank financing have been used in previous years, and the move towards a new strategy that will be widely implemented. Yeah, they're talking about going to the CBDC. I don't know how far away Iraq is from implementing that, but it sounds like they're going for it in 2024. I have not heard that Iraq was even working on the CBDC. I'm curious how they're going to make this happen. The central bank's administrative, procedural, and negotiating efforts, which lasted for about 8 months with the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve Bank, and international banks, resulted in allowing agreements, arrangements, and understandings that allowed the entry of new currencies to deal with foreign transfers, including the yuan, the dirham, the rupee, the euro, the lira. He saw that the agreements are successfully implemented, which reflected on the exchange rate and led to its decline. And soon it was agreed with Turkish banks to enhance the balances of Iraqi banks in Turkish lira and euros. And the central bank strengthened this with tens of millions of euro currency, in addition to agreement with the first bank that the UAE dirhams will be dealt with in UAE dirhams to finance the trade of Iraqis with the UAE. All these measures will allow the exchange rate to continue to decline in the parallel markets, which is currently continuously falling. The consultant of the Association of Private Banks pointed out, the fact that the parallel market is shrinking is a good thing, but I don't like this going 100% cashless. So what does this mean for dinar holders? So 1,000 companies from 21 countries will participate in the Baghdad International Fair. So the Ministry of Commerce announced Friday the completion of all participation for the opening of the 47th session of Baghdad International Fair, while it indicated that the number of participants reached 21 countries and 1,000 companies. That's really good. That's a lot of potential business for Iraq. The ministry spokesperson said in a statement reported by the official news agency that the general company for Iraqi exhibitions has completed all participations for the opening of the 47th session, the Baghdad International Exhibition, both at the level of exhibition spaces and the completion of decoration and posts to display goods for participating companies, as well as for the pavilions, will be according to the participating countries. There are aesthetic procedures such as paying attention to the green spaces and open spaces, as well as creating new health, musical fountains, and interactive lights, stressing the completion of all procedures, participations, and honors to receive participants and visitors. The number of participating countries reached 21 countries, while the number of participating companies is about 1,000 companies, considering that it is a quantum leap when compared to the exhibitions held during the past years. The opening will be in the evening and will witness multiple events for visitors. So a couple of things to really pay attention to. What kind of changes are going to make to the budget for the coming year of 2024? Obviously, that's not going to be achieved before the end of this year, but most likely within the first quarter of next year. If they're going to make any changes to the exchange rate, this is going to be the time. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying if they're going to do it, this would be the time. If they're going to recalculate out their expenditures, how much the oil is going to cost, what kind of revenues they're going to get, this means they'll be making changes to the budget that will affect everybody that works within Iraq. It's now or wait to the following year. Also, I'm not too thrilled about the fact that they want to go 100% cashless. What's that mean for those individuals who are holding on to the Iraqi dinar? You guys let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.